Hi everyone. It's the day after Christmas and I'm in my garage mindlessly cleaning up because I got some pretty bad news on Christmas Eve and then Christmas Day. I found out my dad died on Christmas Eve, and then I found out that he he took his own life with a gun. I guess that's the best way I could say it. And I keep thinking about all these things growing up, and I keep thinking about a person who might feel that way. The idea to take your own life, you have to feel like you have nothing left. And I know what that feeling feels like. Now I'm upset because it's my father, but see, in my world, my father is just a person. He's not actually a dad. And his life choices basically pushed me out of his life. And unfortunately, even though a lot of things were his fault, I can't help but feel guilty that I wasn't there for him. And that's what happens to you when someone decides to do that to themselves. It doesn't affect them, it affects the family. Now, he grew up in a time where, when he was younger, drugs were new and exciting. And while he was polluting himself and putting himself in a dream world where he was happy and enjoying himself, his enjoyment was ruining the family's lives. And while he was quote unquote happy, he spent a lot of time reminding my brother and I how we were a burden because we existed. And it sorta is the biggest reason why I was very disconnected with him. Now I'm almost 40 and I'm raising two children, and my kids are young. They have no idea how hard life can be. And me as a father, I want to give that to them. But no matter how much I dislike my father's decisions, I didn't hate the man. I just chose to remove my children from his life. I didn't want them to see how bad people can be or how bad things can get, at least at a young age. You're going to have to learn that along the way, but I didn't want it to happen when they were just children. So now I'm dealing with a situation where my kids know I'm sad, and I have to now go through life thinking maybe I could have been there a little bit more for them. Sometimes all you really need is someone to talk to. And I have fond memories of when he was the real him before drugs decided to take over. And I keep thinking of those memories like he was the same person, but he wasn't. And I keep thinking that all those times I tried to get him to fix himself, if he could have just listened to me a little bit more and stopped acting like we were the problem, maybe he'd still be here and maybe I would have a different life with him. Um, and the more I think about it, I realize that if you're the kind of person who feels the way he maybe did, even if you feel like there's no one in your life, sometimes you just have to talk to someone. And that could be the difference between what he did and creating change to help yourself. So if anybody sees this video and feels like they just want to talk or they want to tell somebody what's going on, I definitely would want you to either comment or message me. I have many different ways publicly where you can get in touch with me and literally just talk to me, even if it's just to say hi, talk about a car, if you happen to be into video games, collecting toys, it doesn't matter what it is. If you just want to talk to somebody, feel free to contact me. Because I feel like if he would have just picked up the phone a little bit more or called me a little bit more, maybe his life would have a different ending. Maybe my life would have had a different direction. I don't know. You know, the older I get, I realize that the friends I had growing up are disappearing, but I have much more friends that may not be near me, may not even be on my side of the country or even in my country that I talk to a lot. And it may be through social media or thanks to YouTube. I spend a lot of time talking to people all over the world who think like me, who like what I do, who have the same mentality I do, who are into the same things I'm into, and you guys are my friends now. You know, people think a subscriber is just a number, but for me, you know, a lot of subscribers contact me, and you guys are all going through different things, and I know for me, the holidays are especially tough. I've never had a good Christmas, at least that I can remember, maybe a few. You know, I'm almost 40, and I think I could possibly remember 5 good Christmases that I can count on one hand. And I'm almost afraid of Christmas. And unfortunately, what happened this year makes me feel like Christmas is actually cursed, at least in my world, but not in my kids' world. And me as a father, I hope I'm doing good because they don't feel that way. I know a lot of my videos that I post, you can tell I'm sort of in different moods. Sometimes the footage you're seeing might be from 6 months ago. Sometimes the footage is from that week. It depends on what project you guys want to see. So I have a 65 Mustang coming to my shop tomorrow, which is why I'm cleaning today, and all I'm doing is just thinking about everything. And the footage I shot for the engine on that car is from like a year ago. So I'm a different guy in those videos. And the reason I'm filming this is you guys get to know me through these videos, and I want to let you know what's going on with my life. And if there's stuff going on with you, I want to see if I can help. So I may put this in the front of a couple of my videos for the next month just because I don't know. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel. Like I said, he was just a person. He wasn't my father. But he's still somebody that was part of my life. And he's still the reason I exist. So part of me feels guilty. You know, unfortunately, a lot of my memories of the man are from my good memories, are from when I was young. You know, probably before I was even a teenager. And it's nice to have some memories like that, because even if he was an awful person, I was so young that no matter what, I wouldn't have noticed it. But You know, as an adult, not even an adult, I want to say even in like high school, I have other memories that really made me make different decisions as an adult. Which is why I raised my kids a certain way. And luckily I got to watch firsthand what drugs and alcohol can do to a person, and I'm not really into that stuff. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes getting drunk can be fun, but when it's all day, every day for 20 years, you know, it really can ruin a person. And if there's something that he could have given me, it's seeing that firsthand and maybe watching him go down that road, you know, kept me on a better path. Which, if there's anything he's given me, I think that is probably the most valuable thing. You know, it's funny, when he was younger, he liked cars so much that he would buy the biggest piles of crap, and they would just be all over my grandfather's house, everywhere. His cars would be everywhere. Most of them didn't run. But of course, me being a kid, I thought it was the greatest thing in the world, seeing those piles of junk. He loved Chevelles. I remember at one point I bought a Chevelle because I love them too, especially a 69 Chevelle. I think it's the nicest car. I don't own a 69 Chevelle just because when I owned mine, it was just too much work to keep running, but I was like 20 when I bought it. And it just, muscle cars sort of left a bad taste in my mouth, only because I just was tired of stuff always breaking, but I was 20 and maybe I just wasn't good at fixing stuff. Nowadays, I would love a car like that, but they're so expensive to find. That's something else he gave me. He gave me a passion. He didn't realize it, but he really did give me a passion. And I do have some memories of fixing cars where it was something we would actually enjoy to do. He wasn't very good at it, but it never stopped him from trying. And no matter how mad he would be at the world, he would love it whenever I would fix his car, and I think he would call me the genie. Every time I would fix something, they would think I was magic. It was true. The whole family always thought that. They couldn't understand how I knew how to fix things. I think it just comes from tinkering, which he used to do a lot of. I remember when I was little, he would always take apart radios, and he was into the CB radios. You know, he could never hold a job, but he could. He actually said having a job was beneath him. And he would just sit and watch TV all the time. But if he had to get an antenna up on a roof, he would find a way to go up 2 stories and get a gigantic antenna up on the roof, just so he can talk to truck drivers and listen to the police band. And that technical side of things, I think, is probably how I learned it. I don't want to sit around being mad at him. So it is nice that I'm on camera thinking about all the things that he gave me in life. He was an angry person, and he was always mad at everyone. For the longest time, he would just always get drunk and high and always blame everyone for all of his problems. I was the other way around. I would never blame anyone. I would just face all of my problems. Probably because I would watch him blame everyone, get nowhere in life, and me, I move on. I fix a problem and I move on to the next problem. I don't need recognition, I don't need remorse, I don't need to be put on a pedestal. Problem has a solution, here's a solution, on to the next thing, and I just keep working towards the next thing. So luckily I didn't adapt that working is beneath me mentality. but I did soak in the technical side of things. And he might have been smarter than I realized. He might have been really smart when he was younger, but he grew up in the 70s. You know, mental illness and drugs and alcohol, that was not a widely known thing. You know, I think back then they would give kids cigarettes. It's just the way life was, but my kids are growing up in a different world, luckily. I don't understand the new world. I don't know if I fit in the new world, but I'm living and I'm happy and my family's happy, and that's what's important. And hopefully the people who come to my channel feel the same way. And if you don't, contact me. If literally having one conversation could change your life and you have no one to go to, you can go to me. I don't care who you are, just message me. In fact, even if you just want to keep it in the comments, I get back to everybody within seconds. Usually, it doesn't matter, even if it's midnight and I'm about to go to sleep and I see a comment come in, usually it's because somebody can't figure out something on a car. And I realize it's midnight, but you might be in another part of the world and it's daytime, middle of the day, and you're stuck on the side of the road and you need help. I'll stay awake and help you. So with something like this, I'll definitely help. I don't want to sound like a downer. I just, it's fresh. And I decided to put my life on YouTube for a reason. I wanted to find people who I guess are looking for someone like me to be around. I feel like people like me are rare. You know, I'm not the guy that goes to parties. I'm not the guy that does drugs, gets drunk. I love working on stuff. You know, I feel like people who work with their hands are not a dying breed, but hard to find. And if you guys are the same, YouTube is the best place to find you because Facebook is difficult. You know, whenever I'm on Facebook, it's just hatred and negativity, but on YouTube, typically the people who take the time to comment do it in a positive way. And the people who take the time to message me, you guys are all amazing, and I really appreciate everything you do. And if having a conversation with me can fix your life, then I want you to have that conversation. So thanks again, everybody. I don't tell a lot of you like my personal things in these videos. Most of my videos are just, here's what we're doing, this is what we do to a car, here's the ending. But I actually feel weird if I'm not on camera talking to everybody. So whatever's going on in my life, I'll just post some videos or add to some of the videos more of my personal life so you guys can see what's going on. I really appreciate all the support everyone's giving me, and if you too are dealing with things like this, even if it's not what my dad did and it's just a tough time, let everyone know. I want my channel to be a community, not just a place for clicks. Thanks again, everybody. Have a very nice day.